Yes, guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson football channel for 6 things that we learned from Chelsea 1, Arsenal 1. Not the result we wanted, not the result I'd say we deserved either. I think Chelsea probably, on the scale of this game, I think we deserve to win this, to be fair. I think we played really well. I think there was a great balance to the side today. Arsenal obviously went ahead. Pedro Neto scored an absolutely sublime equaliser for Chelsea, and then from that point on, I think we are dealing again with a little case of, well, are we confident enough right now to go for it and win? But also we're worried about Arsenal. Bukayo Saka went off injured. Gabriel Jesus comes on. I still think Chelsea are in that period where we are really good. We could be really great, but we're not great yet, so we're not confident enough to go out there and be great. And as well as that today, our best player very much had an off day, to be quite honest. But let's get the admin out the way first of all. If you're not yet subscribed to GBFC, please make sure you do so. And whilst you're here, it's the final game before the November International. So smack a like on this video for me. If you want to get anything from the Megastore, Christmas coming up, use this discount code GBFC10. You can scan the barcode there. You get 10% off your orders at the Chelsea Megastore. Also, follow my podcast on Spotify and drop me a review if you can. I would much appreciate it. Anyway, let's talk a little bit before we get into the boxes here today on 6 things we learned. Let's talk a little bit about the ebb and flow. Let's talk about the way that this game was played and the way that this game went. I think Chelsea started incredibly well. The best moment that we saw from Cole Palmer came within 150 seconds of the match starting. He gets a little bit of space. He's driving. He's running. Hits a ferocious shot that David Raya, who I just want to say, to be fair, I probably would give maybe the man of the match to Raya today. I think he had a fantastic game. He didn't make too many big saves because, well, Chelsea weren't that great in front of goal, but he was just commanding. Whenever we could try and get around the back, he was always there. Distribution brilliant, collecting the ball brilliant. Raya makes the save to deny Cole Palmer. From there, Chelsea start to really take control. When you're looking at the Arsenal side that they had out there today, I think they had probably their best team out. You've got a midfield of Thomas Partey, Declan Rice, Martin Odegaard, both back fully fit, both lasting the full game. And you're looking at Caicedo and Lavia and you're like, well, this is obviously going to be a battle here. And Caicedo absolutely had everybody in his pocket. Chelsea bossed it in the midfield. And for the first sort of 15 minutes or so, I think we had about 75% of the possession. We were creating opportunities. And I think the biggest opportunity for me that went begging in that first half that we've got to talk about is Malo Gusto's header. You guys that have been watching this channel all week long, I've been saying that as great as Malo Gusto is, when you're asking Malo Gusto to be the guy in attacking positions, you're not getting offensive output. The man can't finish. The man's not scored for us yet, and he misses a header from literally 2 yards. And I'm telling you now, any other player in the Chelsea squad scores that. Even Cucurella scores that because he wouldn't close his eyes and flip and leap like a salmon. He just cruised at it. It's a perfect cross from Neto. And anyone but Gusto. But Gusto's being asked to do that. Gusto's being asked to be aggressive and get forward and attack. So I think we've only got ourselves to blame in that case. But Gusto, I thought, also didn't have a bad game. I thought Chelsea today managed this match very well. I think as much as it's not quite that win that we were desperate to get against our London rivals to put us further ahead, we're still third. We are third in the Premier League, guys, going into the international break in November. Yes, we're still 4 points behind City and now we're 9 behind Liverpool. But, like, no one was really talking about us going into this fixture as, like, need the win for the title charge. Arsenal needed to win to stay in touch with Liverpool at the top to win the league. No one's expecting us to win the league. We want to be in the top 4 and we're third. So credit to Maresca and credit to the team today for the way that we played. Second half, nothing changes. I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, maybe this is the game where Palmer's not having much to do in that number 10. Maybe now we put Palmer on the right wing, take Noni off. He's already been booked for petulance again. And then we bring Joao Felix on. Maybe it's the game for that. We didn't see it. And then Arsenal go 1-0 up. And I'm going to say this now. Robert Sanchez has to do better. Martinelli finishes it well, but Sanchez doesn't really make himself big. Martinelli is 4 yards out, and all Sanchez has to do is smother and make his body big, and Martinelli doesn't score that goal. But he does, and Arsenal go 1-0 up. And I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, we're letting them start to gain control now. We're letting them back into the game. And then my stream went down, so I didn't even see this happen live. But we make the changes. Enzo Fernandez comes on. Mudryk comes on. And the finish from Pedro Neto. I told you guys he was going to score today, didn't I? The finish from Pedro Neto is absolutely stunning. He has hit that so well with his left foot. And I think we have seen now that Neto's an undroppable player in this Chelsea team. We said it in my video a couple of weeks ago. I think he's been growing. I think when the season first began, it's obviously a new club, new manager, new system. He played at the Euros, but before that, he wasn't really fit. And I think with Neto, he's staying fit. He's looking sharp. He could have had an assist today and should have then scored the winner if Malo Gusto would have put it in. But it's a fabulous equaliser. And then I think from there, the game was kind of just played out for a draw, if I'm being very honest with you. Box number 1, though, in the 6 things that we learn, is a green for Pedro Neto. I think the brilliance that we have with this is that Neto can play on the right, but he can also play on the left. And it's no mean feat to play against Arsenal. They're a very strong defensive unit. I think Neto was doing incredibly well to get on the ball in the positions that he was. Some of the crosses that he was putting in, Noni Madueke should have done a lot better with a header in the first half as well. Neto literally sets it up on a plate for him, but he's under pressure and he heads it wide. The cross to Gusto, I think it's going to be one of those where it's an international break now. I'm just going to be thinking about that Gusto header for the next 13 days until Chelsea play Leicester again on the early kickoff on Saturday, the 23rd of November. It's frustrating, but I think Neto is right now one of the top performers at the club. Cole Palmer went missing today, but Neto absolutely didn't. Box number 2 is a green for Moises Caicedo, who once again, game after game after game, it's almost broken record worthy now. This guy puts in a 7.5, 8 out of 10 minimum every single match. He was brilliant. I think he controlled the midfield. Chelsea were the better team, I think, because of Caicedo. He was everywhere in the first half, getting back, sliding tackles, diving in, interceptions, giving a little bit as well. Arsenal are an aggressive side. People have said this season the dark arts when they're talking about Arsenal, you know? And I do agree with it. And I was looking at Arteta today and I'm like, this guy just pisses me off. But I'm watching Moises Caicedo and that man, right now in a Chelsea shirt, does anything but piss me off. The man is magnificent. Box number 3. Going to say the best performance I've seen from Wesley Fofana in a Chelsea shirt. I thought he was magnificent today. I was tempted to give him man of the match, to be honest, but we're not going to give blue boxes out for a draw in a game where I definitely think we should have won it. To be quite honest, I think we had the better chances. But Wesley Fofana was fabulous today. He was stepping up as well and getting forward. He made some great runs. He nearly scored an unbelievable Erling Haaland, Victor Osimhen-esque goal. It was a good pass from Noni Madueke. He was poor, I thought. But I thought Wes dealt with Arsenal incredibly well. Kai Havertz obviously scored that little bloody rat in the first half. But I think overall today, the defensive display from Fofana, and I'll say credit to Colwell as well, who gets a booking in the first half and then manages to manage the temperament, no petulance, no aggression in that second half. But Wesley Fofana, for me, was the standout defender. Box number 4 is a green for Marc Cucurella. I thought this man again today was brilliant. I was absolutely delighted to see Cucurella back in the side. I think when Chelsea are in control of the game in the first half, it's because we had left-footed players out on the left, right-footed players out on the right. I was a bit surprised to see Gusto ahead of James. And I think if it's Reece James arriving in the box, then he buries that and scores. And I keep bringing it up. I know, I'm sorry. It's not a bad result, this, but it's also just like we should have flipping won it. We really should have flipping won it. Box number 4 is a yellow for Robert Sanchez. He made 2 amazing saves in this game. I'll give him that. But he's just got to do better for the goal. He really does. I'm sorry. I've said this a few times, right, on GBFC. I used to be a goalkeeper, not even close to semi-professional. I was a very amateur goalkeeper, Sunday League when I was a young lad. And all I've ever was told, even though sometimes it's a bit scary, you know, if there's a striker bearing down on you and you're like, just open your body up and make yourself big. He didn't do that enough. Distribution, again, I didn't think was very good, but like I'm used to that now. But he did make some big saves. I know that the one in the second half was offside. Trossard blazed it over. Wouldn't have counted anyway. But Sanchez, I still need more, and I think he could have done a lot better for the goal. Box number 6 is a yellow for Cole Palmer. It could actually be a red, to be fair, based on the standards that we're used to seeing from Cole Palmer. But I'm giving it a yellow because, again, today, I just think when teams are trying their best to get him as little involvement as possible, it is difficult. But I do think it's going to be up to Enzo Maresca to be able to change it. And I think today, I was happy that Mudryk came on. I thought Mudryk looked good. But I think the move would have been to move Palmer out to the right and have that free rein to cut inside. Have someone like a Felix introducing Nkunku a bit earlier. I think Nkunku coming on with literally 90 seconds of normal time to go is slightly criminal, but, you know, I'm not going to complain about it too much. But Palmer was poor. The free kicks today were bad. The corners were bad. Set pieces, I thought he was a bit erratic, a little bit too, like, trying to be quick, but without the execution. I need more from you, Cole. And you've already set the standards now, so unfortunately, when you have an off day, it looks very off. Do you know what I mean? But I think overall, Chelsea into the November international break, we're third in the Premier League. We're still ahead of Arsenal. We've leapfrogged Nottingham Forest. We've leapfrogged Brighton. Yes, we've still not beaten one of the big boys, but it's not a bad draw. It's not a bad draw, I'm sorry. But anyway, thoughts in the comments down below. Let me know the 6 things that you learnt from this game. Subscribe if you are new, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.